What's up, King? In this video, I'm gonna show you how to text women and set up dates on dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. I'm also gonna give away my ultimate pickup line guide in this video. So if you wanna level up your text game in 2025, make sure you stick around to the very end of the video and I'll show you how you can unlock this guide. Pound that like button, hit subscribe, and enjoy. If you wanna start dating big booty Latinas, Shrek is gonna be your best friend. I put this Shrek prompt in my Bumble and this hot Mexican said, you know, Shrek is pretty bomb. I said, a woman of good taste, but which Shrek movie is your favorite? Shrek 2. Shrek the Third is close, but something about the intro to all these childhood characters like Fairy Godmother and the Ugly Stepsisters and Prince Charming make it so good. I said, me encanta la segunda. Adorado tu español. She loves my Spanish. I said, you're hot, have impeccable taste in cinema, Latina. What's the catch? She said, I'm a busy businesswoman, LOL. I was like, you and me both. She said, oh, you're a woman too? Had to keep it playful. I said, an absolute boss babe. Wow, we love a career-focused queen, or as the kids say, serving boss. I was like, oof, cringe. She said, can't win them all. I was like, you're cute. What are you looking for on here? Going with the flow. I can't really put a definitive answer on that because it depends more on the chemistry I have with the individual. Sounds like she's just trying to clap cheeks. I was like, yeah, I feel that. Shoot me your number and maybe we can chill sometime. And just like that, number secured. The biggest mistake guys make on dating apps is they use a dating app to try and get to know a girl. But you shouldn't be trying to get to know people on dating apps. That's what dates are for. So instead, use dating apps to build interest and escalate just like this. You look dangerously wholesome and I like it. I can assure you I always have the best intentions. Never a naughty thought? Well, thoughts are just thoughts unless you can act on them. Harmless, but can be lethal. Winky face. Okay, so she's definitely DTF. Said, just don't kill me in my sleep, okay? She said never. Awesome. So you're cute. What are you looking for on here? Just an honest and kind man that I can be myself with. What are you looking for? Looking to make a connection with someone I'm attracted to and see where it goes. And she said, love that. Sounds like we're on the same page. Love that even more. Shoot me your number and let's connect. Just like that, number secured. I matched with an Instagram model on Hinge and said, I really hope you like Shrek. She said, why is that? I said, I need a woman who appreciates the finer things. Are you stoked for the new one coming out? I said, you have no idea, baby girl. Should we see it together? I said, if we're not divorced by then, for sure. Oh, so we're getting married, eh? I said, yeah, Elvis is officiating the wedding. But what if I want a fancy wedding? Michael Jackson it is. She said, is Shrek not available? I was like, yeah, I can ask him. You're cute. What are you looking for on here? Threw the monkey emoji at me and said, I'm just going with the flow. I'm not really trying to force anything. I was like, yeah, I feel that. Shoot me your number and maybe we can get together this week. And just like that, number secured. This Hinge opener is so effective. I almost don't want to share it, but I'm gonna give you some sauce. I said, I can't tell if you're innocent or an absolute baddie. She's like, I'll let you find out. Good girl. You live in Vegas or just visiting? She said, I live in Vegas. What about you? I said, same. Finally not a tourist. Thank goodness. I don't even know why there's so many tourists on Hinge. I was like, I know, right? You're cute. What are you looking for on here? She said, thank you, with 3 U's, which basically means she's trying to smash. And said, honestly, I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. So now I definitely know she's trying to smash. I said, yeah, I feel that. I never check this, but shoot me your Instagram and maybe we can get together sometime. And just like that, Instagram secured. One of the guys in my Discord matched with this absolute rocket and she said, hey Nick, how's it going? He said, I've been needing a Katie in my life and here you are. She said, smooth, very smooth. He said, you look dangerously wholesome. I like that. For the most part, I absolutely am. I'm glad you like it. He said, you're the kind of girl my mom wants me to date. She said, that's the best compliment ever, honestly. Maybe we should make it happen then. He said, you're cute. What are you looking for on here? Not to sound even more wholesome, but I'm looking for a life partner. How about you? He said, looks like we're on the same page. Shoot me your number and let's grab a wholesome drink sometime. And just like that, number secured. I said, hey. She said, hi love. I said, you're so cute. She's like, I'm just okay, but thank you. How's your night? I said, pretty good. I'm just watching TV. What about you? Just got home from work, relaxing. So what's a good looking guy like yourself doing here? I said, looking for a cute Asian girl like you to cuddle. It's Riz, eh? Come on, sir. I'm pretty sure you have a whole roster full of those. She's not wrong. But if you're serious, get your ass over here, come get me, and let's grab tacos and cuddle. I said, good girl. Shoot me your number. She said, shush up. LOL, you better not be some fuckboy because that will immediately turn me off. I said, relax, with 3 X's. She cringes a little bit and I was like, shoot me your number. I'm gonna delete this app. And just like that, number secured. Here's how to effortlessly get a friends with benefits on Tinder. I sent this girl the one-word opener, cute. She said, hey cutie. I was like, are you in Vegas? She said, yeah, I am. How about you? I said, yeah, I live here. She texted me 12 hours later saying, sorry, I've been busy with work stuff all day. What are you looking for on here? I said, it's chill. A friends with benefits would be nice. She said, perfect, because I'm not looking for anything serious either. I said, perfect. You have Snap? And just like that, Snapchat secure. I said, you're cute, but your dog is even cuter. I'm in love. She said, steals more hearts than me apparently. I was like, you're funny. What are you looking for on here? I honestly don't even know anymore. What about you? I said, LMFAO, looking for something casual right now. She said, I guess, going with the flow. I was like, yeah, exactly. Shoot me your Instagram and we can chill sometime. And just like that, Instagram secure. If you're tired of swiping on dating apps and want to secure your girlfriend right now, try this line. Does this mean we're dating now? I guess so, because I'm in town for the long haul, not just the weekend. I said, finally, not a tourist. She said, so what the hell is open to short for you, Hunter? I said, so aggressive. If we vibe, we vibe. If not, no worries. I am down for something serious, but not forcing it just to have a relationship. Girls don't want a needy guy, bro, so this line is key. She said, I just want to be straight up, sorry, and your answer is great. I said, what about you? What are your intentions? Long-term only, ride or die. I love her energy. I was like, how's that working out for you? Not easy, but I don't force it too. I don't want to waste my time with hookup culture. I said, I would hope not. And she said, I'm sure not. I was like, perfect. Shoot me your Instagram. Let's get off this app. And just like that, Instagram secured. I matched with this voluptuous Venezuelan vixen on Hinge and said, baby girl. She said, Hunter, Hunter. I said, if you're a tourist, I'm gonna lose my ish. She said, oh, will you take your baby girl back? I said, I might have to. She said, you can't. I live here. I said, good girl. You're cute. What are you looking for on here? I was looking for someone. His name is Hunter, but I don't know. I said, ooh, you found me, baby. Now what? Oh. My Riz is on fire here. She said, I don't know what to do because I didn't thought I could find you. LOL. She works at the airport and I was like, are you working? I just came to the airport. She said, you're leaving? No, I was off today. I was like, nah, just dropping off a friend and heading home now. What are you doing tonight? I was at the Red Rock and just got home. So I texted her the next day and said, love it there. She's like, what are your plans this weekend? I said, I got 3 clients coming out, so a bit of work. How about you? She said, should I become one of your clients? And just like that, number secured. I matched with this absolute pole dancer on Bumble. She said, hi, handsome. I said, hey, beautiful. Are you living in Vegas or on vacation? I live here, and you? I was like, finally, not a tourist. She said, yes, it's hard nowadays. I was like, yeah, you're cute. What are you looking for on here? I'm open to anything, taking things slow and seeing where it takes us. I said, love that. She's like, and you? I hope your day is going well, by the way. I said, I'm just keeping things fun and casual, just seeing what happens. She said, I'd love that. I don't check this much, but if you want to add me on Insta or Snap, here's my tag. And just like that, Snapchat secured. If you want to skip the small talk and just get a booty call on Bumble, try this out. Indian girl on Bumble said, hey you. I said, hey, nice to meet you. She said, you too. I said, do you live in Vegas or are you just visiting? And she said, I'm just visiting. I'm here till Friday. Oh, that's fun. What brings you to Bumble? To be honest, I'm looking to meet people with jolly good vibes. Getting something serious out here considering I'm traveling will be a bust later. So I don't know, yeah, just seeing how it goes. What about you? I said, yeah, I feel that. Just something casual and fun for now. She says, nice. I was like, yeah, wanna watch a movie and cuddle? She says, oh, how about a coffee and a chill scene? Just left her on red and texted her the night before she was leaving and said, I prefer a movie. We got time now, we can grab a drink? Not gonna happen. I just said, wanna come over? And she says, how far are you from the Trump Hotel? Pretty close. Sent her my address and she's like, ooh, 10 minutes away. Give me your number and we can set it up. And just like that, cheeks clapped. This Hinge opener is simple, but so effective. All you have to say is that smile though. She sent me a paragraph and said, tell me about it. Also, I might only be in town for the weekend. Maybe not a Vegas local, but I do love tacos. And she said, JK, I'm a local, but I do travel for work, but I still love tacos. I was pretty disappointed for a moment there. She said, but only for a moment. No more disappointments here, I hope. I love the way she's qualifying to me in these messages. It's a really good sign of interest, but had to tease her a little bit. I said, just please don't be a bad cuddler. She said, maybe you'll find out. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I was told that once, whatever that means. I said, damn, so you cheated on me? It was a medical necessity. They were going into hypothermia. It was my job. I had to do it. I'd never cheat on you. I said, good girl. You're cute. What are you looking for on here? Honestly, something meaningful, genuine connection, more than small talk. Not saying I'm gonna marry the next person, and I also don't wanna force anything, but just don't want the superficial stuff. What about you? Texted her a week later and said, sorry, I never check this app, but I'm going with the flow and seeing what happens. A relationship would be nice, but I haven't met anyone on these apps that's wifey material yet. She said, no, you're good, I get that. I don't really check this app either, and I disappear a lot, but dating apps are the worst. But it's not really easy to meet single people anymore. And I was like, shoot me your number already. And just like that, number secured. This girl said, is there a free trial to your cuddle subscription? I said, I don't usually offer that, but you're pretty cute, so I can make an exception. Oh, that's so sweet of you. When can this free trial begin? I said, what are you doing tonight? And she said, I get off at 8:30. Gonna have dinner and head to bed. So it sounds like she wasn't trying to chill, but what I did is a lethal technique called a playful misinterpretation. What kind of food should we eat? And she said, that's a great question. I was aiming for salad. I said, I want salad too. And she said, any suggestions of location? I said, yeah, wanna go to Thai Paradise restaurant? I'm down to check it out. I've never been there. What time is good? I said, how is 9? She's like, is 9:15 okay? I just wanna go home and change into some jeans. And just like that, date secured. Playful misinterpretation is one of 12 techniques I've included in my ultimate pickup line guide. And I'm gonna give you this guide absolutely free. If you wanna level up your text game in 2025, I just released the ultimate pickup line guide, and it's absolutely free for the first 1,000 people who sign up. All you have to do to unlock this is go down to the comments of this video, comment the word wingman, then go to the description of this video. I put a link where you can access the ultimate pickup line guide absolutely free, okay? No strings attached, no BS, no spam emails, all value. I appreciate your view. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.